All right, and welcome to another episode of 4GTV. We should be live, hopefully with no frame skipping. The other day there was some type of weird connection issue here from Florida to YouTube, so hoping this is working good. What's up to everybody in chat? Timmy, Crazy Greek Dude, Stinking Corpse, 108 Dragons TV. Thank you so much for all coming by and hanging out with us today. We have a very special guest who's been on before, who's really cool, hangs out in the party chats, and has a lot of knowledge of the gaming landscape. Welcome back, Cozy Beluga. Absolutely, it's always a pleasure having you here. It's awesome. And the Belgium guy hasn't been on here that much lately, so I'm just gonna introduce him again because you guys might have forgotten who he is. The Flamish, Belgium sensation across the nation. He's here with us as well, and he tried out for some theater stuff today. Hey, what's going on, Flamish? How you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Well, we also have another return panel member today who's made it this week. Infinite, his great arcade background. What's going on, man? And then we have Animated Evil. Bloody right, mate. How's it going, buddy? Yeah. All right. So we have a minor technical problem here.
I'm
All right.
shocked, I tell you. Okay, no,
can you guys hear them now? Say something animated.
Say something animated.
You mean they just did the intros and the chat couldn't hear them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's.
Well, Paul, I saved the best for last. I saved you for last, right?
Oh, great.
So now
wonderful.
we're just kind of like starting over now. So Paul, welcome to the show. Glad to have you back. How you been, man?
I knew I should have stayed in bed. Wow. I'm doing all right. I'm having some fun. Been playing some Violent Life. Good game. Ignore the bad ratings. It's getting the ratings are full of shit this time for sure. It's a great game. Lots of fun. Yeah. So I'm stuck. I may need to talk to somebody at some point. So.
Well,
good day, good game. Let's have a good show.
Yeah,
no more technical difficulties.
Yeah, this new software I'm trying out called Meet Hour as well. But we'll just go back. So, Cozy, welcome back to the show. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming on, hanging out with us, bearing with our minor troubles here.
Your shenanigans?
Yes, shenanigans. That's a good term. I like that term.
Deja vu. It's like the drugs are setting in or something. We've done this before. Oh.
Infinite's back. Infinite, hello. Welcome.
Hey, like I said, it's good to be back. This here and there. Times are busy. Things are good, though.
Flamish is back. Belgian sensation across the nation, eats all the candy in the world, and was at a theater, sat on a couch very long. Hey, Flamish, welcome back.
Thanks, class. No candy anymore? No, that's done. Only hard candy sometimes, but I'm quitting candy, man.
No candy except for when I eat candy. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, I've been slowly eating candy for 15 minutes.
Yeah. Not the soft chewy anymore, just hard candy. Easier to.
Okay, that means you're officially old. You're going to be offering people old hard candy.
He's been taking butterscotch in his pocket.
Yeah, that's right.
And real quick, just to reintroduce him, animated, awesome guy. He always tries to make it no matter what, and his work schedule's been hectic. And he loves my British accent. He says, you know, I got the proper accent. Bloody right.
Yeah, he's definitely got it down. Do you know what? That profound welcome to everyone I said's been lost into the ether. I can't remember what I said. Everybody in chat would have been absolutely amazed with the things I said, but unfortunately, sorry guys, you can blame somebody else. I tried. Hi everyone. Yeah, great to be here.
So, you know, there's stuff going on here and there in the gaming world. The first thing I just wanted to talk about briefly, and it's been confirmed, but God of War, Kratos is going to Amazon Prime. I'm always down for new shows, always willing to watch new stuff, new content, so a little bit excited to see where it goes. And I'm going to be honest here, a lot of you might say, oh, Clowns, you're wrong, but I'm just not a big fan of God of War. It's just me, but I'm happy to see the show and see where this goes with mythology and stuff. Cozy, how do you feel about a new show based on a video game?
I think it's cool. I think, you know, more shows are always good. I'll probably dabble in it. I can't say. I'm trying to think of a video game show that I mean, what video game shows are there?
Witcher?
Halo?
Okay, so I haven't seen. I've seen like half an episode of The Witcher, and I've seen 2 episodes of Halo.
Okay, I mean, you know what? That's fair. I know that you're busy on karaoke nights. You're a superstar.
So I mean, but I'm excited for people that are excited for it. That's all you got to do is be excited for people excited about it. Yeah.
I'd like to welcome Hassan. I hope I said that correctly. Thank you for hanging out with us, checking us out tonight. Infinite. You know, I imagine every now and then you might watch TV. Not very often. You're working or playing games or sleeping, but
I do enjoy TV.
do you partake
who
in
doesn't?
the TV pop culture?
Why not? Everybody else does.
You excited for God of War?
I can't say I'm excited for the show, but I'll definitely catch it. I would definitely watch it. I mean, I think they've been hitting it out of the park lately with shows based on games. They haven't been doing a bad job of it, and it just goes to show the pop culture in terms of how much influence gaming has on the industry as a whole, and it's obviously showing more and more every time something like this happens.
Yeah, you know, I want to be honest here. Like, it seems like the video game industry itself, you know, it's grown so big in terms of financial stability and the market share, and I think it's only fair for it to translate over into other media and culture.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the other one. This isn't the only one that's been announced. I mean, we have Fallout that was announced. Life is Strange was announced. I heard there's something for Mass Effect's planned. Last of Us. What else they got? And Alan Wake as well, don't they? I mean, they got quite a bit of movies and shows that are coming out based on games, and that's just a small little list of them. I'm sure there's a hell of more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Animated.
Yes.
Do you have any feelings which way or the other on this opening topic?
Yes and no. It's difficult because obviously, as everyone knows, I'm not a PlayStation guy. I love the old God of Wars. I've not played the new God of Wars because I've not had a PlayStation to play them. I'm a little bit jealous of the people that played God of War. I'd love to. But let's be honest, it's a massive, far-arcing story where they could follow the game. It's all about legends and things like that. I hope it's done well. I really hope they do enough to what the game deserves. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a huge game with a massive number of fans and a massive base of players. So I just hope they do it justice. I'll probably check it out. I'd like to, I think, because I'm into all that sort of kind of lore and things like that. It's like Greek, Roman. I like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope it's really, really good. There has been some good ones. Witcher is probably my favourite because we all know how I love The Witcher, right? I love The Witcher. So I'm very heavily invested in that. And I think they did a really good job. If they can do better than The Witcher, or at least on par with how The Witcher's going, I think it'll be an absolute hit. In my opinion. Hopefully.
Oh yeah.
And I will check it out.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point, right? Like I really do hope it does well. Then it just makes more content, right?
Yep.
Means we'll get more content. So, Flamish,
Yes.
you are big into TV.
TV, not me that big in TV. I just watch some series and stuff, but not all of them. I haven't watched Wednesday yet, for example. Yeah. What was the question exactly? I think I lost it along the way.
Wow.
Lost in translation.
I'm sorry. I'm
He is
sorry.
Andy. We're having a relapse.
So Flemish, we're just talking about God of War going to Amazon Prime.
God of War is going to Amazon Prime? A new series like that?
Wow, you really weren't paying attention at all, were you?
He was not. He was not at all.
He's
Sorry.
not even
I was
Wow.
going to the theater. I haven't read the topic yet. But
Wow.
We were just talking about it though.
yeah,
I know, that's exactly it. He couldn't hear over the hard candy crunching in his mouth. That's it.
I mean, not only were we talking about it, Infinite gave some other shows too, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, a list of them.
yeah. So you excited about Kratos? You gonna go cosplay as Kratos at the local theater now?
No, I'm not gonna cosplay as Kratos, of course.
And he cosplays already.
No, I don't
No.
cosplay. But I do think it's interesting that they're bringing more shows from PlayStation to like The Last of Us, right? Infinite probably said that already. I see a smile from over there. Yeah, I mean it's interesting that they're just going towards more of the movie and series business, I would say. The interesting is banking all their great IPs and PlayStation and just going that way as well.
I don't think it has anything to do with PlayStation. They're just going toward where the stories are. And right now, those kind of stories are hot.
Yep.
Yeah, seems that way. Everything with a little bit of drama, and more perspective for different characters, right? Because they all have they're multifaceted and not just one type of character anymore, like they were back in the
Multifaceted.
older days. Yeah, multifaceted, right? Is that how you say
Yeah, I'm just like, ooh, look at you, multifaceted.
it? Well, yeah, but for sure, man. I mean, I love God of War. It's one of my favorite series of all time. I finished the last God of War in less than 48 hours after it came out, which I almost never
Dang.
do. Ask clowns like I almost.
Do you
never
want to grow
finish
your
games,
YouTube
so
channel? Do you want to earn
that's
more
a
views?
giant feat for me. But yeah,
Boy, that's news to us that Flemish almost never finishes games.
If
Wow.
you guys heard an echo, it's because I loaded the YouTube channel, so I could see the chat and an ad was playing. But I apologize for that.
Pesky.
I apologize.
Pesky
For that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm interested. I will see what's going on. Same with The Witcher, the stuff with Liam Hemsworth. I will give that a chance as well. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Liam Hemsworth.
Fair enough there. Paul.
Yes.
Paul.
What were we talking about again?
You know, I'm lost. I'm a little lost now myself. Yeah.
Wow,
Nice.
good guys.
No, look, I think if they do it right, they could do it because they can flesh out the story between Kratos and the relationship between him and his son, and they can flesh out a lot more of the story. Or depending on how they go about it, I think it could be very well done. It's pretty much preset to make a good story if you get the right writers. You know. But God, please don't let them find a kid that talks as much as the kid does in the game.
Oh, I'm sure it's already happening.
Yeah. Or at least let Kratos give one good backhand at the beginning of an episode. You know?
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. You can't put that on modern day
violence.
TV. This is not 1980 anymore, Paul. You can't do that.
Paul, what happened to you when you were younger, man?
Yeah,
Wow.
This is not 80s British TV. Those things don't wash.
Wow. You just hit the kids. Dang. Dang. You can't hit kids.
Okay, a timeout over a lava pit then.
Well, I think that guy who did who is doing the series or going to produce the series also had hands in Iron Man as well as Cowboys and Aliens. If you guys remember that movie.
Oh God. So one good movie and one really crappy movie. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I went both. And I don't know if anybody watched that TV show, The Expanse.
Oh
that was
yeah,
good.
that's a
That was
good show.
He was the
Loved
creator of that show as well.
No, that I love.
So the work shouldn't be too bad. I mean, he's not he's no Cameron, but I'm sure he'll be fine, right?
I mean, he's good at he already has a legacy of telling a lot of great stories. So.
Yep, and like I said, the narrative, the story for God of War is already there. They've got a lot to work with. So
They do.
it's not
Yeah,
like
there's a large history there that we haven't even seen in games yet that has
Yep.
already been sat down and done. So yeah, a good prequel or something that's the start of it or towards the end of it or something.
Yep.
I'd like to see how they do it.
A prequel.
Yeah,
There
something
you
post, something that leads up to it.
Well, now
Yeah,
that
it's
we,
pretty
Different
cool.
story than the games give us.
What's that?
I was gonna say now that we know.
different side of the story.
Wow, wow, me and Infinite are just on the same page here. Sorry, man. Go ahead, Infinite.
I was just saying that Paul said something like a prequel, but I didn't mean like a prequel. It's just something post. Maybe it's a different side of the story than what we play.
All right. I was just saying now that we know Paul has a violent, upbringing, and whacked on the behind or whatever. But, I mean, I just kind of want to go into the big topic here now for a moment. So the FTC sues to block the Microsoft acquisition of Activision, Blizzard, and King. I think that it is definitely politically motivated. We have seen support from the AFL-CIO, the CWA, where they think that this merger acquisition would be beneficial to the industry because Microsoft is willing to accept any pre-existing union creation as well. So that would be a huge step for unions to get into the industry. And the FTC still, sues to try and block it, even though more than likely, according to Games Industry Biz and Hogue Law, the likelihood of the FTC winning is very little.
They say the FTC can't necessarily stop the merger. They can sue and then have the U.S. courts feature their evidence of why they're suing against it, but they can't block anything, right?
Correct.
Only the U.S. courts can block it. They can only show the recommendations why it should be blocked, correct?
I believe that is correct to an extent. I think this is more of a stalling tactic where they just want to kind of stall it. FTC should just backpedal on this. They made a mistake,
How'd they make a mistake?
Because the FCC just wants to. They just want to slap them and say, no, bad boy, you can't merge, you can't acquire.
But that's not the FTC's job, right?
It is, actually, technically.
It is. Federal Trade Commission. Yes,
Oh.
actually, is your job.
Yeah, they're supposed to do
So they're
something.
just doing their job.
They're just doing their job.
The FTC can't stop anything. They can show the complaints and sue why it should not be done. But I don't think they have the ability to actually stop something.
Okay, but we
Go to the
also the other side of the coin from anonymous, like what was it, clowns? was something else, right?
Um,
The anonymous.
anonymous. What?
No, not anonymous. Like a third party that did some investigation and found that it was good for the customers.
Oh, it's not a third party. The CMA, they backpedaled on their initial thing, saying that they kind of didn't want to go through because of, what was it, my PlayStations or something. The guy wrote. But no, like, they backpedaled on this, and I have the quote up from Tom Warren and where he got it from, the CMA's public website. But yeah, they're another party. The EU is also seen to be more than likely to approve this as well.
I think if I add real quick, I think Hogue stated as well that that the increase in payment of backing out of the deal will increase by $1 billion. Come here shortly, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember what timeline he said. Next 6 months, 4 months, 6 months, 7 months. I don't. Within the next year, they have to decide. It goes from $2 billion to $3 billion if they want to back out of the deal. That's the penalty for them backing out. They don't want to continue to fight for it.
Yeah, but
They can lose another $1 billion just by saying we give up. We don't want to fight.
I'm sure Mike.
Well, why would they do that?
Wasn't there a deal
Well, that's
within...
exactly. It's just the actions for the FTC, the UK, and the CMA alone. I wouldn't see why not. But
wasn't it part of the deal back in the day? I think. Remember, if memory serves me correctly, when they signed with EBK, right? If either party backed out, it was a cost of $4 billion, right? So if one of the parties had to back out of the deal, it was a cost of $4 billion straight away, and that's why everyone was saying they're definitely going to fight it because they've already invested. They're going to lose $4 billion no matter what. I mean, it's not a done deal by any chance. But you've also got to remember this FTC sues thing. It isn't in federal court. It's their own little courtroom drama that they want to get on before they can take it to federal court, right? It's not actually going up in front of the government yet. This is the FTC taking them to their courtroom system, I believe, from what I've read.
It is, yeah. It's their system, and well, it's just going to come down to the hopefully they get a good judge who looks at it and says, "What the hell are you talking about?" Especially with all the stuff with the because they bought into the whole Microsoft lied and all this, and they didn't, because when those statements were made, it had nothing to do with Activision Blizzard. Those statements were made for a previous deal, And so, yeah, it'll probably go. It's going to go to court. I think in the end, it will probably go through. And as far as the payout, if either party backs out, that's normal for these kind of mergers and stuff. That there's always a penalty if either side decides I don't want to do it. That's absolutely normal. So it's just the amount seems high because the total amount of the deal was high.
Yeah.
I just want to say, don't you guys think that Microsoft already thought about this before they even thought about
absolutely.
They already gone through everything there is to do with
I posted it.
They have already had
the lawyers sat down and said, okay, where's our case? What might we want into? And they watch it every day, and they probably talk about it every day, and they have all kinds of files in their stuff going, okay, if they say this, we're going to go this route. If they say this, we're going to go this route.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not being reactionary. Trust me, they plan for all of this. It's no guarantee it'll work, but they definitely, they don't wait to see what happens and then make a knee-jerk reaction. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are getting tired of hearing about it, but I'm actually looking for. I like watching to see, because we're actually getting to see how this system works. We usually aren't this privy to all these goings on for major deals. All this goes on behind closed doors. Nobody's as vocal about it. So it's really kind of interesting to watch. Some people are really putting their foot in their mouth. And we can see that every day too.
I mean, it's actually mostly just fascinating to me because I'm like.
Yeah.
not super invested in like any of this. But I like, because I was saying from the beginning, I was like, they are going after that for King, and people,
Yep. I said the same thing. You can ask Animated. He knows that. From day one.
Yeah.
I said it's been all about King. Because that's where the money is.
It was never about Activision, right? That was your words. It was never about Activision. They want to go into the mobile market, and that's where King firmly lies. Because getting off the ground in the mobile market, as you eloquently said back in the day, difficult. You get someone like King who's got all those apps already out there in the hands of people that are spending billions on fucking Bubble Witch or whatever it is they have. I don't know.
Bubble
I don't
Witch?
play mobile games.
Bubble Witch?
Whatever. I don't know.
Crush.
I want to play Bubble Witch. I want to play a game. I want to play a mobile game called Bubble Witch.
There is a game called Bubble
There
Witch.
is a game called Bubble Witch.
Candy Crush. Saga
It's
animated.
a Candy Crush thing or whatever. I don't do mobile, so I just went.
There's some great mobile games.
Bubble Witch will do.
Because that ability to automatically, if they want to, puts Game Pass on all those, instead of all those weird ads you see for other mobile games, you're going to see ads for, hey, Microsoft, Game Pass, play cloud games, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Yobi brings up. Oh, nice. Dragon Spice came up. Yobi makes a great point. Unionization is what Sony doesn't want. We've seen that with Crunchyroll and Funimation. They definitely don't want unions. And now that Sony kind of like brought it to this point, unions are supporting it. So I would imagine that Sony's even more disappointed and worried now than ever. Just because it's just.
Oh yeah, they've got the AFL-CIO. They got the AFL-CIO involved. Trust me. Even what's her name, Khan, it's going. Okay, we need to rethink this. We could have a big problem on our hands.
Yeah, because the thing is, the union groups, the AFL-CIO and the CWA, they are part of big lobbying groups, big lobbying union groups.
Yep.
They spend big money on politicians, okay, and political elections. Just like any other company would, right? They spend a lot of money.
The AFL-CIO has a big pool in this country, more than a lot of people realize.
Yeah.
Big pool? Big pool? The biggest pool?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm not sure how big their pool is or how many feet deep it is, but they have pools.
Yeah.
All the pools. What happens when they run out of pools?
I honestly have even no idea what that is. So.
Belgium,
we won't, brother. We won't.
Well, yeah. In Belgium, we have 3 big unions, I would say. But yeah.
But the entire population of Belgium is like the population of one city for us. What the?
11 million in total in Belgium alone. Yes.
Oh, that's tiny.
That's
a tiny country. Yeah. It's the smallest country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Were you gonna say something?
No, carry on. When you're talking about unions and stuff like that, you carry on. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the UK has unions, do they? I don't even know.
No.
No?
No, I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't have unions?
You have organizations to protect your workers, though, even if they do work for the state, as it were.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, but it's not. It's kind of an antiquated idea. In where we are right now, it happens, but it's a very small minority now. Margaret Thatcher did a hell of a job getting rid of them. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, wasn't she the best?
The Iron Lady was awesome. That's just nope, you're not doing it. Out. So yes, it happens, but it's on a very small scale. But yeah, so for me, I can't really comment, can I? I don't experience this kind of thing in my stratosphere in my country. So
Okay, so now I'm curious.
guys
So,
carry on. You guys carry on.
so if your employer does something sideways and crooked, where do you go for protections, or do you just say screw it, I'm screwed?
Do you know what? I don't think we have that. A lot of us don't have that attitude. We're just like, yeah, well, yeah. We just don't have that attitude. A lot. Some people do. Some people still do. But it's a very for someone like me, that's an antiquated sort of view on employment rules and stuff.
Right.
We have a lot of employment rules to stop them going all screwy and things like that, and that's run by the government.
And maybe that's
union.
what it is. You guys have it at a higher level.
We're kind of protected. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
It kind of runs through government rather than single cell unions and these groups of people. So yeah, it's for me. It's like whatever.
So you're just protected on the state. You're protected through the state, and then or through the country, through the government.
Yeah, I have that belief. Like, do you know what? What happens. I'll be fine. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because I know that for handicapped people over there, there's a lot of stuff over there that we've had to fight for over here.
Yep.
Well, I'll go ahead and move on. So, Cozy, do you have anything that you want to add to this?
I'm done with most of this conversation already.
All right.
Like, can the
Whatever
sale
it is
happen or not?
Yeah.
Whatever it is you're drinking is stuck to the bottom of your glass. I don't know what that's
You buy this, just like a powder mix.
Oh, yeah.
And you just pour it in the cup, but I don't mix it. And I don't have to mix it because I use my soda stream. I use my fizzy water and pour it in, and it kind of like half mixes it, and then I get extra sugar at the bottom.
Nice.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm going to have to try that. Shout out to PK who sent me
That sounds like diabetes in a bottle to me. I don't know about that.
No, I know. I think it's Country Time lemonade. I don't think.
So this is half Country Time, half Kool-Aid.
Oh, I never tried that before.
Yeah, mix them together.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I need to change the sugar out of the lemonade to the sugar in the cabinet for the Kool-Aid.
And the clear bottle is neat vodka. What she's not saying, the clear bottle is neat vodka, right? That's
I don't do vodka. I'm more of a gin drinker.
I'm kidding.
All right.
It's all about the gin.
So, Graf says Infesto, bro. Long time. Yeah. Rump's not here, Graf, to say that. So the Game Awards, Cozy.
Woohoo!
Did you partake in watching the Game Awards?
Yeah, kinda.
Do you remember the Game Awards?
I do, ish. I remember them being really boring.
What was the biggest moment that stood out for you, whether it was boring or exciting?
Dude's long ass "please stop talking" speech.
Yep. I think most people cannot forget that.
He killed the vibe, but in a good way. Like, at least it was something, it was, like, entertaining at how, like, okay, can you stop? But, like, you know, it was unusual. And that it stood out.
Warning people to kind of get out of there?
Yeah. That was it. I can't think of any game announcements that I was like, oh, man, this is just wowing me to the floor. Oh, no, I take that back. Armored Core.
Okay. I don't remember Armored Core.
The one with the robots.
The From Software game.
Yeah, the new From Software.
The one with the robots. The one with the big titans. You must remember it.
Maybe I missed that part of the Game Awards because I had to step away for a bit. So it's possible I might have missed that.
You missed Armored Core. That was like the best thing.
Is it like a Dark Souls-like game?
No, absolutely not.
No, not at all. No, they stated that it's not going to be like a Dark Souls franchise.
It's a mecha game.
Yeah,
okay. Mecha game.
It's going to be Armored Core. It's going to be like that.
Yeah.
There were it's a sequel too right now. Well, but it's more in the series because they've done an Armored Core.
Yeah, number 6. Yes.
Yeah. it's a big fighting robot game, Carlo. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play it a lot. So
One of the favorite franchises of Phil Spencer as well.
Though,
you just had to throw that in there, Flamish, didn't you?
So Mike promptly told me.
Sorry.
Mike promptly told me, I don't know how they're going to make it accessible, and I'm like, what? He said, well, I just don't get it. I don't think they can make it accessible. And I wanted to reach through my microphone and throttle Mike, but but that's okay. And if he's watching, that's okay too.
Why? What accessible in what terms?
No, in playability, he doesn't see how they can make a mech game, have better controls for accessibility or other options like that. And I'm like, okay. Because I can think of about 6 different things they can do to make those games more accessible.
There's plenty.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that game really got my attention. I'm glad they're not going the Souls route.
Yep. Everything doesn't need to be the same.
Nope.
Infinite. Did you watch the Game Awards?
Hell no, Rainbow. Why would I watch? I don't know. I didn't bother watching that show. I haven't watched one yet, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't watched one yet.
Not gonna lie, I only watched
it. I don't like that guy at all.
I only watched it for the off chance of the Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, good point.
Literally.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah.
I do that, so I wasn't like, oh man, I'm actually care about the Game Awards because this is the first time I've actually seen it. I usually just catch the highlights, like what was announced.
Yeah, I was watching it through the Steam page as well, hoping I'd win a Steam Deck, and I kept seeing other names pop up, and then there was a glitch where no names were popping up, and I kept refreshing. So I don't know if I missed a chance or not. But
no, there were just over 200,000 people watching Clowns, with only 1 per minute being, that's like 30 Switch Steam Decks that could be given away. Low chance.
That's like some pretty good odds.
Yeah, still good odds, but still small odds, but fine. I mean, I wish I could win one as well, but yeah, it didn't happen. But there was one name in there. I think it was the first winner or something. That was just crazy.
Wow. Animated.
Again. Yes.
Talk to me, man. You probably watched it, right?
I really did. All 4.5 painstakingly full hours of the blue thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what? We were going to talk about it, so I thought, you know what? I don't watch it live. There's no point watching it live because you can get it better the day after in 4K, right? So I watched it the day after and sat and watched it in 4K, and a lot of it was just filler trash. A lot of it was really, really cringy.
Yep.
But there was some okay announcements like that really piqued my interest. Which do you want me to talk about first?
Yeah,
Okay, so the pre-show was okay, but I don't know why Sydney, bless her, was dressed like one of the Muppets. What was that with that fairy dress? Come on, let's be honest. That was just really, come on. That's why. Now,
I actually asked if they skinned a Muppet for that dress.
Exactly. She come out like one of the Muppets, right? She did. She really did. Now, if Jeff Keighley come out dressed as Huggy Bear, I'd have understood it, right?
You mean Fozzie Bear or Huggy Bear?
No,
Huggy Bear.
I mean Huggy Bear the pimp. With a big fur coat and a big hat. I'd have understood it because it's with taking with the show, right? But why? I don't. I mean, I think the pre-show was better. I like Sydney. She's really good. I think she's. Although the jokes she was forced to make were horrible, I do think she's a good presenter. So, God bless her. No hate at all. And I'm sure it wasn't her choice to dress. I'm sure she opened the wardrobe and thought, I'm wearing that shit? Really? I should be in Monsters, Inc. dressed like that. What the fuck? No. But, right, so, obviously, Mr. Judge, the moment in the spotlight just went on and on and on and on. Some of his points were brilliant. Oh, great, yes. But even I'm looking at the TV thinking, wrap it up, fella. Time to go. Come on, let's go. Come on.
I know. Given the other parts of the show that happened later, I'd still almost rather watch him talk.
And poor old Al Pacino was stood next to him looking for his Zimmer frame, right? He's thinking, why am I even here? What's going on, right? God bless him. So that's the cringe moments, right? Another massive cringe moments. What the hell was that Banjo-Kazooie thing? What?
Banjo-Kazooie?
Did you see it?
Nope.
Did you watch it? Did anybody in the room watch it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean, Paul? Banjo-Kazooie coming from the ceiling. What? A guy in a Banjo-Kazooie costume?
No. That's Crash Bandicoot.
Sorry, not Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, I do apologize. Crash Bandicoot.
Whatever.
Or the new game, yes.
Yeah. For Crash Team Rumble. Yeah. Not Banjo-Kazooie. I do apologize.
Every year they do one big skit.
Like that. I know, but what was the point? It was just so cringeworthy, right?
It was.
However, that's me being down on it, right? Music was shit as well. There's no drum and bass in there. It's no good, right? But there was a few good games that you forgot, right? So I didn't like Hellboy, although the crowd went wild for it. Didn't like the art style. What was the one? What's the point of Among Us? Hades 2 was announced. It was cool. What was the one? Come on.
Final Fantasy 16.
Judas by Ken Levine.
Good. Yeah, Judas looks
good.
Mm-hmm.
The same maker from Bioshock Infinite. He's now running an independent studio. The game was called Judas. That looked really good. If you've not seen it, check it out. Really, it is more Bioshock, but it did look really good. Other than that, what else stood out? I like the thing they did with Batman in Justice League.
Justice League kills the.
Yeah, obviously, an ode to the voice actor that died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That was
very
nice
interesting.
homage.
But
it was nice homage.
do you know what? It wasn't even the fact that Batman was in it. It's the fact that I really loved the way that the Justice League look and feel. So if the game comes out looking like that, when you look at it as itself, if it comes out like that, it's going to be a really good game because it's from Rocksteady, right? And they've got really good.
Their pedigree for doing games like this.
Pedigree, thank you, Paul. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. We saw Diablo 4.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not my cup of tea, but I'm sure Flemish was wetting his pants over Diablo 4.
Yeah,
right,
Flemish had to clean his TV off after that one, I'm sure. Yeah.
And I can't think. I honestly can't think. Crash Team Rumble. What the hell was that? Can't think of anything that stood out.
Oh wow! Okay.
All in all, it was an okay show. It wasn't the best. It was more bad than good, but we saw some good things. And I've talked for too long, so I'm going to let someone else go.
You're the only one who watched it, so you're good to go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christopher Judge. Thank you, Christopher Judge.
Thanks for taking for the team.
My moment in the spotlight, right?
You remembered the whole thing.
Fantastic job.
Yeah. I can only remember like one or two things. You remembered the whole thing. I walked away.
That's not the whole thing. There's more. I think.
Yeah, there's a couple more things.
I want to thank Sir X-Man and NLG as well for becoming a sponsor of the stream and joining support tier. And Sir X-Man with the $2 donation, he says, Crime Boss is the one I'm looking forward day one.
Oh, yes.
That's the one I forgot. That was a cringe moment followed by a good game, right? Because you had Michael Madsen on the stage, and he's looking old. God bless him. He's looking really old.
That's what happens when you get old, though.
I know, but he's looking a little bit. Do you know what? He's a bit of an action star. You look at him in the stuff like Kill Bill and other things and Reservoir Dogs. You immortalize these people like that, and he comes on the stage looking like it is like, Oh my God! Look at him.
Well, yeah, we get the same thing from TV personalities we've seen. Because you're so used to seeing them in the,
Yeah.
You're getting old too. We're all getting old.
I'm getting old. I'm already there. It's fine. But the game looks pretty cool because there's a lot of stars in that, right?
Oh yeah, I know you're looking to Vanilla Ice. You're hoping Vanilla Ice is a playable character. I know. Yeah.
Mama Rocks, welcome to the chat. So good to have you here. If you're able to hop on, feel free. If not, maybe next week with this new software will work for you. Graphic God says Game Awards are for the industry, not the fans. And I will say this. He's 100% correct. Not only does he know that, but shout out to 108 Dragons TV, who's also said that. And, you know, this past year I've been to EA a couple times, the headquarters and other places, and interacted with a lot of devs this year. And I hear the same thing all the time from everybody, that it's basically the industry acknowledging the industry itself. It's not really the fans, you know, that get all this stuff. You know, how should I say?
Who decides on the awards, though?
Yeah, it's the industry. Their panel decides on the awards.
Well, it's the same.
What's their panel made up of?
And why does fans vote?
It's the same with the Oscars and the Emmys, though.
What are their panels made up of?
Industry people.
Yeah, like Phil Spencer's on the panel.
Yeah.
There's over 100 persons on the panel that are deciding what game.
And they're all industry people.
Yeah, like well-known journalists that have been there for a while.
Journalists don't. Yeah. I don't see journalists. I think are part of the problem. They're not used to.
I agree to an extent.
Well, not just a particular journalist, but the whole firm.
They're not the kind that do all the clickbaity stuff that you see like on Kotaku or something, right? These are journalists that have been there for years and years and been in or around the industry or a part of it at one time. And then you got industry executives. I believe there's probably some indie companies in there as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, on that one, but I haven't looked at it.
There probably are because some of those indie companies were formed from people who were in bigger companies before, so they kind of got, you almost want to say grandfathered in, but they're part of the industry as a whole, you know.
Yeah, so to give an example, a couple are like Digital Trends, Arts Technica, Games Radar Plus, GameSpot, Giant Bomb. We also have LA Times is one of them, Polygon, PC Gamer, Vice, The Verge, some UK ones as well, like The Guardian.
Sorry, that's just The Guardian. I don't.
Well, that might make Cozy's point more valid.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Well, I'm just reading a couple out.
Like
there's way more.
The National Enquirer, you know, they got a group in there. Yeah.
On the website you can see the full jury panel, like all the different companies are part of that.
Okay. So hopefully that answers some questions. Paul.
Yo.
Oh, I know Flamish. I know what Flamish is gonna say about the Game Awards, but so that's why I'm going to Paul first. Paul, so what did you think of the Game Awards?
I mean, I thought pretty much the same thing Animated did. I did enjoy a lot more the announcements, even if they weren't games that I wouldn't necessarily play. Most of the announcements were pretty good. You know, and there were a couple of moments for me. Like I enjoyed seeing more on the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. That because it does really look good, and that's a game I've been looking forward to since it was announced last year, and I've said as much. You know, because like I said, Rocksteady does some incredible stuff. I mean, you know, I'm everybody, you know, and then they're going to get into, well, it looks last gen. I don't care. I just want to play the damn game. You know, it's like, you know, it's like with anything. I thought some of the I thought this show was supposed to be shorter, and if we're going on the 4 hours, I'm like, oh my God, please make it stop. You know, you know. But even Jeff Keighley was like, toward the end, he's like, hopefully some of the acceptance speeches will be shorter. You know, it's like, wow. I don't even think he expected it to go that long. I did want to see Animal come out and try to hump what's her name's dress, though.
Sydney, yeah.
But yeah, I saw more than good than bad. I didn't. What's funny is I think I came away feeling better about this show than I did about the previous year's show, as far as how much we actually saw. Even though, yeah, I know Microsoft was a no-show. I don't care. I really don't.
Neither did they either, obviously.
Yeah.
If they had games, they wouldn't be a no-show. Oh.
Yeah, I know what's coming. I'm excited for that. I'm not gonna get bent because they didn't show anything. I really, it doesn't affect me, so it seems to affect everybody else. I've been kept busy. I got more games to play than I got time right now. So, whatever. I do think that some of the winners really, and some of the choices were kind of odd, but I know that the panel, previous years have shown that the panel that makes the choices tends to be a little Sony centric. So it is what it is. I mean, I don't know that that's going to change anytime soon. Whatever. For the most part, though, I mean, like God of War, whatever it was, winning the accessibility award. Good. They deserve every game in that category deserved to be there. Any one of those games could have won and would have been the correct winner. So I'm okay with that. One thing about this year, though, I did notice that I have played almost all of the games that were nominated except for the Switch stuff, which was good for me. It means I've been an active gamer this year, big time. And I actually knew what they were talking about every time something.
That doesn't mean you've been an active gamer. That just means you picked a certain quality of games.
No, I've played those among others. Most years, there's a lot of those games that I would have never touched.
It's funny because I played 0 of those. I played pretty much none of the games that they.
Well, that's I just like the fact that I had.
Likewise.
So I had. So when they were nominated, and I could actually look at the nominations and go, okay, I like that one, but I like this one better, and I could actually make an educated decision there, and not just go, well, I like this one better because it's for Xbox. Or I like this one better because it was from this company. I was actually able to look at, my history with the game and go, okay, here's where I really stand. So I am glad As Dusk Falls won an award. They really deserved it. They deserve more, but at least they won one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Flamish. I know the first thing you're going to say about the Game Awards, so...
Oh, boy.
Go ahead and get it out. Get it out. Get your excitement out. Let's tell us all about it. Go ahead.
Yes! You know what I'm going to say,
Yep,
of course. I've been talking to you for years. Diablo 4, people. Diablo 4 is coming out in 6 months. I'm so happy about that. I knew they were coming at the Game Awards. I knew they were going to be there because they said so. And I'm just happy they have a release date. Besides that, there's a lot of awesome things. First of all, the game that we're all playing right now that just released on Game Pass, not even a month ago. What was it again? That 2D game. Forgot the name for a second. Help, class.
What game?
That 2D Vampire Survivors.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be free on mobile.
Hmm?
Right? That's a cool thing, so people can play that. It's gonna be a lot of downloads for that game. Also, there's just a lot of different things. Hades 2 was a big one for me because I love Hades. The Hellboy was interesting because it's a comic book style, so they really want to go into the comic book feeling for that game. I think that was also interesting. I also really wanted to know who was gonna win Game of the Year. I'm not really about that, but it's just interesting because it could go both ways. It could go God of War, and it could go Elden Ring. All the others were a hit or miss, I would feel, in that category. But those two juggernauts were talked about for years, right? So it was interesting which one is gonna be. So in the end, I was happy either way, which one it could be. But I was sadly hoping for Elden Ring because I still think that has some more there's just a lot in that game that most people need to understand, and you can only do that if you play the game yourself. It's a hard game, but there's so much done in the game, so much changed, that I think it's an interesting choice either way. So, and I think the most interesting game that's also a little bit weird that they go this route is Horizon Forbidden West with the DLC. But it's only going to be available on PlayStation 5, not on 4, while the game is also available on PlayStation 4. But the DLC is only going to be on PlayStation 5. So I don't know why they're doing that. Is it because it's too hard to run on a PlayStation 4?
They're probably using the top end of the engine at that point, and they don't want to downgrade it to the 4. I mean, it's bound to happen.
Yeah. Also, a couple of cutscenes like reactive from Transformers. I don't know what that game is gonna be about, but new Transformers game is always interesting. And you can also now play the new Forspoken. You can play the demo, and I tried that one, and I think it's fine, but it's not gonna be a day one for me. The combat was smooth.
I've seen a lot of negative stuff about that demo.
Yeah.
I also
the same thing. The people that were looking forward to it hate it.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I mean, I was normally gonna buy the game day one, but from what I've played, it's just another open world game for me, and there's too much open world games these days. Just feels like another third-person action adventure game from PlayStation with some cool combat. I will say the combat is smooth. It's cool. If you love combat, you're probably gonna love this game. If you love your open world combat games, but there's a lot more stuff that didn't really make it into my list for that game. So yeah.
Like what?
The exploration was more like a lot of running. There's not enough to do in the world, in my opinion. Just a lot of like exploring, but just running around. There's some grunts enemies that you see all over the map, but it's more like running from point A to B, in my opinion.
Okay.
And that's not doing it for me anymore. And also there's a lot other games coming out as well around that time. It's coming out in January, but in February we have the awesome Hogwarts Legacy is coming out. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just wait for that and just buy that instead, which I'm gonna buy definitely.
Sounds reasonable.
On that note, interrupting a little bit, did anybody see the gameplay number 2 legacy thing from yesterday? The Hogwarts Legacy gameplay.
Yes. Yep,
yes. Me and Clowns were there
Nope.
in the party, talking to each other while watching it.
What did you think? What do you think, Flemish?
Oh man! So first of all, combat. For people that don't want to get spoiled, just mute me for a second, I would say.
Well, you're not spoiling,
What?
because there's not a lot to... They didn't show a ton.
Well, if you want to know about the certain spells that are in the game...
It's not a spoiler. They've put a gameplay demo out, dude. It's on YouTube. Most people that are interested have seen it.
Yeah. So first of all, that you have the 3 curses and can use them all inside combat is just awesome. I didn't know what they were gonna do with that. Is it something for just the end of the game, or you can use them maybe once only if you're evil? I have no idea, but you can just use them freely in that particular mode, at least in like a combat arena. So I don't know still how it is gonna be in the game itself, but at least you can use them. That was so cool. Combat overall looks so good. Only was shown in the last one as well. We just saw a little bit more, and it's just interesting. I mean, for me, it's like what Harry Potter magic should be. Hogwarts in general, like the magic, how they all do it. That was so cool. Besides that, exploration looks very interesting. You have mounts, you have brooms. They fly. There seems to be a lot to do in the world. It's also an open world game, of course, but it seems more busy than Forspoken, in my opinion. a lot of interesting things that I've seen. Also, the room requirement is fully customizable, so you can go and put wherever you want, whatever you want.
Sweet.
So that's cool. Yeah, so it's fully like you can just you can change colors of different items. You can put the chair in any order you want. You can turn it however you want. It's cool. I love it. And there's animals to care for in the game as well, apparently. So we knew that a little bit, but they gone more in depth. So yeah, it's all very cool, very interesting.
Yeah, I will say with you on that one, Flemish, that was pretty neat. The animals that you could pick up and care for and take back to your place, and the fact that you could change the environment of your house, like 4 different biomes. The wizard magic thing, I wasn't, I'm just not a fan of range combat as much, so I think that was a drawback for me. This is my gameplay, Koopas, so I did pretty terrible. It was a drawback for me, to an extent. But I will say that, the open world aspect of that game, the mounts that you could fly on the broom and you can fly on the hippoglyph. Did I say it right, Flemish?
Hippogriff.
The hippogriff, yeah.
Yes. Okay, that stuff is amazing. It's mind-blowing. Like, you could probably Infinite could probably sit there for hours just staring at the sky, like, flying around. It looks so cool. Yeah, but, I mean, that's just my take on Harry Potter, right? So,
yeah.
Game Award wise, Diablo 4 does look pretty good. I don't know if I'll get into it. I think Halsey went on stage and did a song or something. Was that Halsey that did that?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
And that
she did the song Lilith.
I mean, it's still cool that they got somebody who's currently a big name singer out there. It just shows the growth of the Game Awards from where it was to where it's currently going, and they're trying to make it definitely a very professional kind of thing for themselves in the industry, and they're doing a great job with it. I'm not a fan of Jeff Keighley's choices of his favorite games and favorite developers, but you know what? Everybody has their own things that they like, man. I think Atomic Hearts was shown off as well. Am I right, Flemish?
Sorry?
Atomic Heart?
Yeah, that was at least in the pre-show, I think.
Yeah,
they did.
That might have been in the build-up, I think. The name rings a bell, but
so I was excited for that.
The names ring a bell.
And then one that we all keep forgetting to mention is Jedi Survivor. They showed us some of that.
Yes.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm so happy they showed so much of that game. Oh my god, it looks so good.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does look good. So, I mean, there's things that excited me, but the things that I was not a fan of at the Game Awards was that very long speech in the beginning. I felt, I don't know, maybe that guy was just too excited for, winning that award, and I get it.
That guy, I love
it. Was rude.
It was rude.
I think he thought it was the same like you would go to the Emmys or something like that, and he won one of the biggest awards.
But you still wouldn't talk for 20 minutes.
And disrespectful.
Not that many minutes. I thought it was over like 2 minutes, but he kept going. It was a little bit too long, in my opinion.
It was almost 20 minutes, dude.
20?
It was something like fucking. It felt like it.
I think it was 8 minutes.
It was 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's still too long.
After a while, I was also on 108 Dragons TV's show on that day. Shout out to Lemon.
Just like keep it quick, thanks to people, and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to my producers, thanks to my family, blah, 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 and then move on, right? Like, you don't need an 8-minute speech. I agree with Mav here.
Well, I think part of it too, his cadence. He's a slow talker. I think that's just the way he normally is.
I don't know, Paul. Like,
no, dude, that wasn't slow talking. That was just
was slow talking, dude. He was.
Well, of course, it was slow talking, yeah, but it was just convoluted story after mixed up convoluted story. It's like telling this guy this, and we did this, and then I've got to thank this guy, and then a story about that guy, and then we've got to thank this guy. Just come on.
I have the notion he was just so overwhelmed and didn't know what to say and just came up with a bunch of stuff he wanted to say but didn't know what direction he wanted to let the conversation go, and he just kept going with different conversations, different things he wanted to say.
I mean, maybe his thoughts were stumbling all over the place, but I think at a lot of these events, the people are notified ahead of time if they're winners or not, right? So.
Well, I know they're supposed. I know for the Oscars and Emmys they are, but.
I don't think he was. I think he was fully surprised at that moment when you looked at him.
So there's two opinions in the chat here I'm gonna get to real quick, and I mean, sorry for cutting you off.
That's okay. I was just gonna go on with what Flamish was gonna say, but it's fine. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, Mav says when they finally started playing music, he just felt it and added to the drama. I mean, very possible. And DragonHeartYoby says, I didn't have a problem. I understand what he did. Treated this moment like a Grammy. It was not a convoluted story. Put yourself in his shoes. It's big for him. He went through hell making this game.
No, he didn't.
Agreed. Right.
Well, you can't say no, he didn't. You don't know. I mean,
he was very emotional, and he did. Just, do you know what? It was an emotional speech. It really was. But do you not think it went on a little bit too long, Yobi?
Oh, way too long.
I get that. I get Yobi. Honestly, I get it.
It was like,
it was a very emotional speech, and I have nothing but respect for the man. I really don't.
Yep.
I think he ruined the speech.
But what I'm saying is, maybe he wasn't prepared. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. But I think with these award ceremonies, you have to have an allotted time, because after he spoke for that long, right, the show, especially Jeff, he felt he had to rush it to try and catch up to sort of where he needed to be. There should be a time limit set. It was overly long.
It was long, and he diminished it. He diminished his entire speech, because by the end of it, everyone was pretty much like, can you shut up?
Yeah.
So it was like people weren't even engaged with his speaking anymore. It was just like, can you shut up now?
And yeah, Yobi, I get it. He went through some shit. He really did. And it was emotional. I get that. Understand. It was just too much. That's all I'm saying.
But he probably didn't feel like that in the moment. I mean...
No. I know, but...
It's a little bit sad how people thought about it, and it was a little bit too long indeed. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, he had this moment. He could say what he wanted to say, and that's it. I mean...
there's a lot of good opinions in the chat here. Crazy Greek dude felt the entire show was too long, and a 30-minute pre-show on top of it. It was like 4 hours. You know, I kind of agree with you there. The whole show did feel long. I missed some of the show. I had to walk away. Yobi alluded to the fact that he went through surgery, and the whole studio depended on him to get back to health to do the part. I get that. Respectful.
Yep.
I respect that.
Yep.
But
the
Oh, go ahead, Cozy.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, yeah, but the problem was it was just too long. And, you know, the fact that no one's talking about what he said, they're talking about just how long it was, shows that, I mean, I guess good for him. He did a long-ass speech. But it was like, the overall effect, it was like, is it really effective if the only thing people remember about is, you know,
well, that's all anybody remembers about these award shows. Nobody remembers what they said unless they say something, you know, outrageous. So that
But it's really even impactful if people just don't want to hear you talking anymore.
It was impactful to people that matter to him and that he matters to. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Do you know what? I'm on the fence. It was too long, but do you know what? I can't call out the dude for saying what he said. It was an emotional thing he had to get off his chest in the moment, in his spotlight. It just felt like a very long time. That's all. And
it was, you know, and you know, like I said, if he would have been a more concise speaker, he could have said all of that in like 3 minutes. I swear to God, go back and watch it again. He stumbled a lot.
Absolutely not. No, thank you.
I actually will give it a chance to watch it again and see what he actually
Now Flammers is curious. Flammers wants to know what he said now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, I mean, everybody has a lot of good points on this in their opinions, right? And Mav does bring up the fact that everyone else's music started way sooner. And, you know, when you take up the stage for that long and you've been talking for that long, you're taking away the opportunity from other people to give a speech as well. Everybody should have had like a time limit. They should have, I mean...
Oh, they did. I mean, they started to play him off and he spoke louder. So I'm pretty sure they had a time limit.
And that's kind of a thing, like, in one sense, right? Like, that's the kind of thing that you don't want to do if you get an award, because then other shows might be like, oh, I mean, he's good, but if we give him an award, is he gonna take up the time from everybody else now going forward? Like, they're all gonna think about stuff like that.
Hopefully they're not choosing whether they're going to give somebody an award based on that. It should be based
No, I think what they're going to do in the future is just put a time limit on it and just tell them up front, the nominees, that they have this many minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
To maybe to make it more flow. Because Jeff Keighley is probably going to look at this the same. There needs to be something that there's a little bit of a barrier.
Sorry, Flavish. Graf just says they sent security after a kid on stage, but they leave long-winded Kratos. You know, he has a point, right? Maybe the kid that did that, the Elden Ring, should have did that on that speech and would have ended sooner. I don't know.
Oh my God, no.
He would have been the hero we needed.
I want to say something about that, but I don't want to say.
Well, and also they weren't going to go on stage during the acceptance and do that, because that would have looked bad. They had to wait till it was over. You know, they couldn't go on stage and manhandle the kid while everybody was standing there. You know, it's like But I'm sure he didn't get off the stage very far before they stopped him. You know.
I will say one thing about that. Sorry, Paul, that I cut you off. I'm sorry. There's one thing I have to say about it. It was actually so iconic for the game. Because in the game you have a lot of people that can go into your game and try to like kill each other, right? And this afterwards has become a meme that's exactly the thing that happened. He got basically invaded in his own space. But it's not respectful at all. It's not something to really laugh about, but it is a thing that happens in the game. It's a little bit a meme at that point.
Well, the kid is known for doing it. This is the third time he's done it.
Must be nice.
What?
Yeah.
What must be nice? What?
That he keeps being allowed to do it.
Well, it's not because he's allowed. He hadn't done it for the same thing twice.
Yeah.
He usually does it for political reasons, but this one didn't make sense. I mean,
and also he really blended in with the people that made Elden Ring that came on stage. Yep. So he really did I would not say a fantastic job, because it's not something you should do, but he did do a thingy. Yeah, that's
I admit it was funny.
Interesting.
I thought it was
It was very skilled trolling, yeah. But you've got to ask yourself, right? How secure is that place? If he can get up there, who else can?
Well, he probably got a ticket just like everybody else who did.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably gonna take measurements. Yeah, they will do a lot of stuff to prevent stuff like that next year, probably.
But
Jeff Keighley's gonna look at that.
This could definitely affect the public from going in the future or where they sit, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, whether it's funny or not, which to a lot of people was funny, it's also a security risk for a lot of executives that have $1 million detailed security for their safety, you know. And him just being able to run up stage like that is kind of like a shock probably to a lot of people there that were like, what? What's going on? So I'm sure Jeff Keighley's got to reevaluate that whole situation about what happened. Shout out to Sir X-Man with another $2 super chat. Thanks so much, man. He says, Fluke Guy, awesomest part of the show, facts. I didn't.
I was going to mention Fluke Guy. We had to mention
Fluke Guy.
Yeah.
Fluke Guy is awesome. If you haven't seen that, I'll give a little bit of details about that. So there's literally a guy on stage during the ceremony of announcing the Game of the Year nominees, and he was basically playing 4 different instruments as hardcore as he can do it, like really like going all over the top. And in the end, he shot like, "Yeah!"
Do you know what? I think it's between him and the old bearded drummer. I think the pair of them were just superb, right? Do you know what I mean?
They should do that in the next one.
Yeah, the old bearded drummer was well behind him. I think he was going for it. But yeah, Flute guy was cool.
Koopa brings up a great point. Sometimes, you need things like this to happen so that they do bump up security. And you're probably right, because they probably didn't foresee this. They probably thought that the audience would be more professional. So, yeah, I see your point there. I'm just glad that it was a prank and nothing more than that.
But it could have been, right? We know that these game devs that there's a lot of crazy people in the world, right? We know that these game devs get hate mail and stuff like that, and in the most, it's just trolling, okay? Which is wrong. What he did, I thought was wrong. I didn't think it was funny. I was like, how did he get there, right? But what if you have an individual with issues who has a issue with a dev that's made a game that he didn't like, and he's got up on stage behind them? I mean, this was a Game of the Year award. I mean, you've got to think that the guys from Software are going to be thinking, we're on stage and there's a random guy behind us. What if that was a real hater who had hate against them? Luckily, it was just a prank, right? Luckily.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And it was live as well. If it wasn't a prank, if it could have been something very nefarious, that would have been seen by millions and millions of people.
Yeah,
right?
That would have been cut immediately.
If it was an actual attack, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, 100%. Crazy things happen. Crazier things are happening these days.
Look at the news world around. It happens, right? For absolutely no reason at all, just because whatever. It doesn't matter. We're not going to go into that. But luckily, it was a prank. Luckily, right? And hopefully, it doesn't happen again. Because otherwise, why would these game devs even turn up again? They've flown all the way from Japan, from Software, right, to collect their award or whatever, and all of a sudden there's a guy attacking them on stage. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably also know that this is this is a thing that shouldn't have happened. And Jeff Keighley will probably have conversations.
I'm sure. Yeah, he's gonna have to.
Yeah, he's gonna have to.
And speaking of conversations, I'll go ahead and move it to this last one, so
yes.
It doesn't drag on. This is just a real quick one I want to throw in here because a lot of people are probably gonna miss this, but this is actually a very big deal. And along with this, keep in mind that Microsoft announced that they are supporting internet satellite over Africa, which is a huge deal because it grants more internet access for people that may have not had it before. Now, on top of this, right, Microsoft acquired Luminosity, an innovator in hollow core fiber HCF cable. So they acquired basically fiber cable, which is very interesting, right? So it makes me wonder, is Microsoft just looking to supply these lines to big companies like Google and Amazon and just have another part of the industry that buys from them as a supplier? Or are they also going to distribute this not only for Amazon and Google and other places, but their own servers, and on top of that, government infrastructure, and possibly in the future residential infrastructure? Now, if they enter that market of residential infrastructure with their fiber cables, it would be a huge deal, because it would create competition, lower prices, and they could probably use their money to get into areas and do this. So real quick, just want to get the panel's thoughts on this. anybody could speak whenever you guys feel like it.
Well, let me say this: if they're gonna provide better internet for people that don't have that option right now, right? That would be a sweet thing that they could do. I mean, they have the money to fund stuff like this to make it go far and wide. So that would be awesome. That's what I want to say about it. That's all.
Okay. And it's looking blank at this one, like.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from this one. That's what he's.
So just explain the infrastructure, what they're planning out, Klaus, because I kind of.
So with the infrastructure, according to the article on Microsoft's website, what their own plan is right now is that by taking over this Luminosity core fiber cable, is that it could speed up high-speed transactions for like medical facilities, healthcare. But imagine along with that, you're thinking government infrastructure as well, schools, everything that goes along with that. And by having this technology, they could, in the future, implement it for residential. They can use it for their own servers. They could sell it to suppliers. Not suppliers, but to other companies like Google, Amazon, and they would be the supplier, I should say. So I think it's Microsoft is looking at the future, and they're looking at expanding in other areas too. I mean, they've got software, they got great gaming services that could even probably help with xCloud. Be honest.
Well, yeah, it's going to help with xCloud. Yeah,
it certainly is. But isn't there another certain company trying to put this kind of technology into the airwaves up above us, right?
Oh yeah.
So maybe they're trying to get it there before they do. Maybe it's all about competition right now, baby. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, he's going to launch a rocket and get it off satellites and stuff like that. How about we get in there first and get it faster, quicker, more stable before they do?
True, because
it's possible.
With their satellites over Africa, they could probably use this core fiber cable, test it over there. Probably less red tape over there to test this kind of stuff with the local authorities, and it could probably be a big boost for people, getting access to internet. We've seen that Starlink has helped tremendously in rural areas. To our Australian friends like Doomy and everyone over there, it's been a huge help. So yeah, probably right, Anime. You're probably right on the ball with that one.
It's a case of let's look at the biggest rural areas, right? Starlink's going to go up there. What can we do to get in there first and take that kind of area for ourselves?
Well,
possibly.
I don't think that's going to be the case anymore, because this takes a lot of work and a lot of years to plan to lay down. This is cable. This is not something like Starlink that you just set up and that does everything from a satellite. So this is going to be...
Well, I was going to say, this probably feeds into... This is stuff that Gates even started working on when he was still involved with Microsoft. So this is still feeding into his program. Getting resources and internet out to places in Africa and stuff like that. Oh yeah, this is something they've been working on for years, probably.
Yeah, but Starlink is is a way easier solution than this. If it comes to
but what if it's not?
It may be way easier, but as it may not be the best thing to try to keep going and stuff like that.
Yeah, as a service, I could get Wi-Fi internet right now on my chimney rest, right? I could get a little aerial put on, job done, right? Is it going to be any better than my broadband I've already got installed? No. I had that before I got my broadband, and I still went broadband because it's more stable, it's quicker, and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did switch. I did take that little satellite dish off my chimney upstairs, and then that was it, job done.
So picture this real quick as a picture, right? So I'm thinking, if you're talking about the satellite stuff, so I'm thinking maybe they could test this out in Africa where they've already planned to launch satellites over the next few years. So they get the satellites up there, right? They get high-speed access through their satellites because this is Microsoft, so they can afford more bandwidth. They beam that down to a main central box, and then they run these fiber cables from that box across the area, and it'll be a lot faster than, let's say, somebody using a cable modem at your house for Starlink, and the modem's just picking up through the air. Microsoft could actually potentially drive it to the box and then transfer through fiber, increasing the speeds and lessening the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? Ping rates?
Yeah. Would this also be the fact that it helps with 4G as well? Because I know 4G is still a problem in some... Or is this only internet and infrastructure?
It'll probably be everything, to be fair.
Yeah, everything.
Once you get those satellites and those connections installed, the world is your oyster, dude. You can you can temper your speeds to your audience. You can if there's 3 people using it, guess what? Your speeds are going to be huge, and over a vast area.
Yeah.
Over a vast area, it's pretty good speeds compared to what they've got right now. I'm sure.
I'm thinking if they do something like Clowns is saying, basically, where you have like a central network where everything comes in from the satellite, right? And then they bring like boxes that they put in the rural areas where there's not enough internet or not good internet and enough infrastructure to lay that. That would be a huge boost. That could be the route that they actually want to do because they do want everywhere to be internet accessible. Microsoft is going for that, so that could be a good way to get that going. Yeah, would be awesome.
Cozy, before we close out, you have any thoughts on this?
Muted.
Oh,
there we go.
There she is.
No, this is a fantastic idea because you build market because the idea of expanding your market is a lot of people don't look at these markets because it's expensive and they don't view them as worth it. So if you can be the first to like kind of just help build that gives you a lot of opportunity, and no one else is going to be chasing this. Like very few other people are going to be chasing this, so it's a good opportunity, especially since like diversifying your portfolio and expanding your market. That's what this is about.
Absolutely, I could definitely see that.
I think Carly nailed it on the head. If you their idea is to expose us to under availability for those who lack access, pay more but develop the technology. But their means of developing that technology, like over in Africa and allowing that to expand, is probably cheaper in terms of legalities and the cost of doing it through the government or local municipalities, like compared to places that's not a third world country.
And
is that what you're saying, Clowns? Like they develop it in a different area that's cheaper to develop it in, and then broadcast to the masses. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, because in developed nations, there's a lot of red tape, right? A lot of government regulation, a lot of red tape, a lot of politics involved, maybe judicial courts, depending on the jurisdictions, fights with the current monopolies of cable companies. I'm sure the same with the UK. China would just be just as strict with their regulations and their parties. So I think maybe in countries like India, Africa, places that maybe could use this kind of high-speed internet access, and Microsoft won't have a lot of red tape to go through to test it out, while giving a benefit to the citizens and residents there, as well as their governments. It's a huge stepping stone for the future, like Cozy said, where you were the first to develop the technology. You're willing to take the risk on the cost because it's low cost on your investment for you as a trillion-dollar corporation, and then you see how well it works. Basically, you see, if it's something you want to do worldwide and fight for it in developed nations or not, or if you just want to leave it where it is and just service it there for the foreseeable future. Plus, xCloud, right? Gives more people access to xCloud.
Yep. That's what I was thinking as well.
Paul, any other thoughts?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, everybody for coming out, thank you for watching. Definitely appreciate it. There was a lot of people in chat tonight, so very grateful for everyone coming out. Man, it's been a good time. I love talking about this stuff with the panel, and really, really happy that Cozy came back on. It's always a pleasure having her here. And where can people find you?
You can find me at your mom's. Oh, no.
Nice. Mom, what are you doing? Mom?
If you have the same luck as hanging out with Carlos' mom as he does, then you're going to be injured.
I had too much sugar. I'm not even gonna lie. I've pretty much just been eating like this much amount of sugar, like just like that much.
Well, you're pretty much drinking it straight, so
yeah. So I'm like tweaking. But you can find me at Cozy Beluga on places where you see a Cozy Beluga.
Awesome.
I didn't want to say anything about it.
Well, you can find me wherever you find a Cozy Beluga. Where can one find a Cozy Beluga at? Is that a local Hallmark store?
No, it's Mom's.
Cozy Beluga.
What happened?
Animated's mic's cut off.
Animated. Okay, you're my
Animated, muted.
I'm sorry. I'm saying that was like the shortest outro ever. She beats me. She beats me at short outros. That's not good.
Oh.
I was hoping I had the shortest one, but there you go.
I need more sugar.
No, I don't think you do.
No,
hey, we found the
she's
new
got a long night. Oh, straight out of the jar. You see this? Straight Cozy.
Yeah.
Are you feeling wide awake?
My heart feels a little weird.
That's not good.
I'll have some experience with that. I'll give you some tips.
Yeah, Flavor says overdosed on candy so many times. Not even funny.
It's good though.
Infinite. Where can people find you, man?
Definitely catch me here every Thursday, and on Tuesdays I'm working on getting 7. Other than that, catch me on the flip side. Wherever you can find a healthy Infinite at.
And Retro Renegades. And also, you know, Infinite's a fan of Penn State, good football team, and the Eagles. Congratulations, you know. Love the Eagles too, buddy. I had to throw it in.
That's the other side of the state. We don't mingle with those guys.
Yeah, you like the Steelers, right?
We're a little, little north of Pittsburgh. So.
Yay, Steelers! Steelers Nation. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is what they say, actually. Animated.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
You know what? I'm all discombobulated. I don't think I can beat Cozy's outro. It was awesome. Do you know what? You can find me here every Thursday, hopefully, when I can make it. It is very late for me when I start, but it's fine. So here every Thursday, animated_evil on Twitter and animatedevil857 on Xbox.
Nice. And saying bloody right, mate. And Flemish.
Oh God.
I've got to teach him. I've got to teach him.
Gotta cut his tongue out if he keeps trying to.
Flemish. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me here on 4GQTV. You can find me on Retro Renegades. That is Tuesday at 7 p.m. 7 p.m.
Think about it.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I'm not on a show, so I forget.
It's easy to remember the time and dates when you show up for them.
Yeah, but it's annoying for me because it's still 6 hours ahead, and I always have to think about that, and it makes it annoying. But yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. Here at Thursday, you know the time because you're here. You're watching this, so or 6:30 EST.
Unless you're catching it later, then you're not. So
yeah so 6:30 Eastern Standard Time as well. And yeah, I have my own channel, but because this theater stuff is looking fortunate for me, I'll probably not be making any more videos because I have other stuff to attend to. And yeah, so
yeah, regular old thespian.
Yeah. Is this going to become a job or is this volunteer work?
no, just volunteer.
It's volunteer work for those that are working with Flamish, but not for Flamish.
I like that.
And besides that, you can find me on Twitter. And where is that, clowns? What's my name?
Gregory Goyverts.
There we go. So there you can find me on Twitter.
Ik van Poepen is Scattergat. Paul!
Yo.
I don't know what I said.
What?
Paul.
Oh dear God.
Oh wait, I must have said something. Paul.
For our Belgian friends, we apologize.
No, they're probably all laughing at me. Where can we find you, Paul?
You need to learn, Carlo. Whenever somebody who speaks a foreign language just go, hey, say this, don't say it, okay? I'm just,
It's been safe for months.
Something very bad. It's usually something very bad. So.
Ik van Cake.
No.
Anyway,
Stop.
You can find me at Twitter, Cerebral1, Twitch at Cerebral. Every Monday afternoon, you can find, or morning, depending on where you're at, you can find me on the Xbox Ambassador channel doing gaming differently with Cerebral. On Tuesdays, you can find me with the Retro Renegades and with Gaming After Dark. And on Thursdays, you find me here. And this Sunday's my birthday, so everybody needs to wish me a happy birthday. So.
Happy birthday.
On Sunday or right now?
Oh, shit. Paul, I've not bought you a present. Shit.
Do you want your birthday happiness today?
I did last year. Shit.
Sunday.
Yes, you did last year. You're the reason I was able. You're the reason I was able to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think of a birthday present this year.
Yeah, you're the reason I was able to play Guardians of the Galaxy last year.
Dude, it might be a week late, but yeah, I'll give you some.
Hey.
You know, the best present you can give anyone ever is a glitter bomb.
Cash. Oh. No.
I thought Paul was going to say a hug.
No. I'm not a hugger. No.
Well, everybody, thank you for coming out. You can always find me on 4GQ TV. We have some pretty big interviews coming up, actually. We have Allison Packard coming back on. Good friend of the show, friends with her. She was on Yokai Watch, and she's been in a ton of stuff like Neon White. Lately, she is in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And we talk Instagram, her and I, friends. So excited to have her back.
Yeah.
And we also have Carlos Navarro coming on. I met him in person. It's just a cool dude. He did a full skit around me as one of the Tracksuit Mafia guys from Hawkeye, because he plays in Hawkeye as the Tracksuit Mafia guy. He's also been in The Walking Dead and a few other big TV series, but he's coming on the show in the first week of January, so we're going to hang out with him. We just had Chris Sarandon from Nightmare Before Christmas on as well. He was also on Fright Night. Paul was on that interview. Very excited to talk to him.
That was a cool interview. Dude.
You were fanning out and breathing heavy on.
I wasn't totally fanning out. The breathing heavy was because I'm sick, dude.
Yeah, I'll give it.
Fanboy.
I'll give it.
No, I don't.
But to all, and to everyone, and to Timmy, good night.
Timmy.
Good night.
Thank you, chat. See you later.
I don't feel good.
Too much sugar.
I